Welcome to Giant Ability TV. The probability of military takeover in Nigeria is on the rise. The stunning revelation about Nigeria's crude oil theft represents a betrayal of the confidence reposed on the holder of the highest office in Nigeria in the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is often said that bad kings are not made, we can only make bad lieutenants. When a man's character is unclear to you, it is wise to look at his friends, for birds of the same feather flock together. The All Progressive Congress Party's idea of luring people of questionable character into the party with a promise of forgiving their atrocities, both in the sight of man and the law of the land, served as a crucible where bad eggs were hatched, and with some of the negative effects seen in poor governance that has failed to provide a dividend of democracy to the people and leading to the highest level of poverty ever experienced in the land. Escalation of the activities of the Boko Haram terrorists and banditry, the Fulani herders and the farmers' clashes, which led to the loss of thousands of lives of innocent Nigerians, as well as the emergence of sponsors of the different kinds of crime such as terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and with a group of highly syndicated people who are responsible for the theft of the country's crude oil. Denials by people who occupy positions that are directly connected to the crude oil business on behalf of the country, namely the NNPC, relevant security agencies as well as the Office of the Minister of Petroleum in respect of their direct involvement of complicity are just attempts at fooling all Nigerians and all the time. Petroleum experts have made it abundantly clear and beyond an iota of doubt that crude oil theft, especially of the magnitude that is seen to have taken place, cannot be carried out outside the knowledge of the people in authority. I was choked by the picture painted in describing the kinds of vessels that are used for these nefarious activities of crude oil theft by the petroleum experts. Mr. Martin Onuvo, who also is a former presidential aspirant of the National Conscience Party, he gave an analogy of a 100-meter field and 3 times of it as the length of a vessel. What he was trying to point out is that such vessel cannot be considered as too small to be invisible.
Speaking professionally, in any typical design and typical operation, the lines have meters on your source and have meters on your sink. That's number 1. Number 2, lines have performance. So the engineers in charge and even the operators know the performance of their lines. If you compromise any line, operator should know. Because, for example, the first thing you notice is a pressure drop. Second thing is that your metering at your source and your metering at your sink has disparity. So it's impossible to do these things. These things only happen in Nigeria.
So now...
It's impossible to do these things.
Impossible to do what?
This oil theft is impossible, but it happens in Nigeria.
As much as he berated and accused the NNPC staff, security agents, community collaborators as well as the Office of the Minister of Petroleum, he demanded that President Muhammadu Buhari should take responsibility and accept that he has failed the country. As nothing is secure in the hands of the government under the principle of social contract, it becomes difficult, if not impossible, for Nigerians to have trust in the government of the day, even in relation to the ongoing transition program. If you look at all the evils that have plagued Nigerians under the watch of President Muhammadu Buhari, you discover that they are all as a result of the breach of trust, which make it critical, clear, and putting no one in doubt that all the actions of the non-state actors are in agreement with those of the state actors, as represented by all the 3 tiers of government, which includes executive, legislative, and judiciary, as well as other relevant agencies of government. These actions were also premeditated. It is important to note also that the peace accord document signed by all the presidential candidates of all the political parties is ambiguous. It states that all the aspirants must accept the result of the election as long as they are adjudged to be free, fair, credible, and transparent. However, Who determines the credibility is missing in the documents. This defect was confirmed to Channels Television by the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Yusuf Baba Ahmed, who was represented.
There was a magic clause. It says, so long as, or I think as far as the elections are adjudged, free, fair, and credible. But what it didn't include is who is to adjudge it. The cheats, or the victim, or the people.
On a final note, the unfolding developments, especially the crude oil theft, make every action of the Buhari government suspicious to Nigerians, including the political activities leading to the 2023 general elections. Restructuring can solve the above problems, but we should bear in mind that where this is not allowed to happen through the ballot boxes, making it happen through the use of guns, as the probability of taking over power by the military is on the rise becomes inevitable. Kings have long arms, but misfortune longer. So let none think of themselves out of reach. Benjamin Franklin. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to all our social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.